Hi YouTube, I am Taisha and welcome to my channel. In this video that's specifically dedicated to my two trips that I've done internationally and solo. So what better place to come to you from as I'm on my second solo trip here in Costa Rica. So let's go ahead and get into it. Traveling solo. For one thing, let's go ahead and talk about traveling. And as I work with women and empower women who are healing from unhealthy relationships, live their best lives, and not just survive, but thrive, and interweaving travel as a tool in the healing kit. Why travel and how does that heal? Oh, just in many different ways. The interactions that I have with others have blessed me so. And also, it's been reciprocal. So, really traveling and seeing different perspectives have been a blessing to me, and it's helped me heal wounds. It's helped me introspect and take a deeper look at myself and my desires and my wants, and it exposed the world to me, letting me know that life is so much bigger than my little container that I was in. So let's get to this. First of all, please feel free to like and subscribe to this video, and you'll see more content. And if you haven't watched already, as I talked about traveling to 8 different countries since the pandemic, and how that made me feel, and just interweaving my healing journey and story within that. So let's get started. So I'm in Costa Rica. This is my second time in Costa Rica traveling solo. My first time was earlier this year, and I was going to do videos, but I did not. So I am going to wrap both of those experiences into this video. So I will talk about my first time traveling, and now my second time, and now I'm being 1 full week into the second adventure. And then I will have different videos capturing the weekly happenings while I'm here in Costa Rica. So I've been to Costa Rica before. In 2023, I traveled to Costa Rica with my family and my friend and her 2 sons. And so it was me and my 2 sons and my friend and her son and daughter. And we went to Jaco, and Jaco is on the west side of Costa Rica. It was beautiful. It's easy accessible from the airport. We did a whole lot of things there that I really enjoyed. So I knew Costa Rica has been calling me for a long time, and I knew that I was in the right country. And while I loved the experience of Jaco, I knew I wasn't quite in the right place. So that was further confirmed on that trip when I met someone from Limon. And meeting this copper skinned person like me speaking Spanish was like very intriguing to me. And I was like, yeah, I want to go to where you're from. So that's what I set out to do. I planned that I was going to return to Costa Rica, and I was going to explore the Limon province and specifically the Puerto Viejo area. So I came back earlier this year for 10 days, and my goal was to scout the area because I knew I wanted to come back later. So I went to scout the area, realize where I probably want to stay for a month, and how I would be able to work from here for a month. So I did that in February, and I will tell you, I was here for 10 days, and it took me about half the time to even just acclimate myself to the place. By the time I started slowing down and living that true, pure vida, it seemed like it was time to go. So I was like, yeah, I'm not here long enough. And I was looking forward to coming again. So let's talk about Puerto Viejo. Puerto Viejo was originally a very small fishing village that has grown. But when I say grown, it's grown to locals around here. Yes, it's expanded, and there's tourists here, but it's definitely not a very busy hustle and bustle place. Um, it's very calming. The people are super welcoming and nice. There's no big Walmarts or malls or five-star, five diamond hotels. It's all about the nature and just embracing nature and interweaving into that. People respect the nature, they respect each other, they respect this land. And once you get to Costa Rica, you'll know what I'm talking about. It just draws you to just slow down, slow down and enjoy life. The ground is so fertile. Everything is green and alive. Like right now, I'm listening to the waves crash on the beach. It's just a beautiful place. So Puerto Viejo is small. There's other beach towns along this route here, very small to the point of, having some paved roads, but the majority of roads here are gravel, and people are getting around on scooters, bicycle, walking. There are cars here, but if you're staying in the area of Puerto Viejo, Cahuita, Manzanillo, these areas, cars are really not necessary. Renting a car is not necessary unless you want to go out. I did rent a scooter. So on my first trip, my idea was I was going to get there, get to my Airbnb, and I was going to ride the bicycle that they provided. I would not rent a scooter. Well, where I stayed was down in what I call the cut. That might be a southern country saying, but it was not isolated. There were a lot of people around. However, it was a good distance from the city center for a bicycle ride at night. Now, during the day, it wouldn't have been a problem, but at night down a rocky road challenged me a little bit. And so after one night of doing that, I decided that I was going to rent a scooter. So I did that, and I'm glad I did because it opened up my ability to explore more. And I would highly recommend that. There are tuk-tuks, which the little guys driving the little tuk-tuks come around, they can pick you up, and you can do that as well. But I like the freedom of having my transportation and jumping on it whenever I wanted to and getting around. So I rented a scooter and enjoyed the time having the scooter. I was able to get around. I was able to see the other beaches. I was able to go down to Manzanillo and just look at the different beaches along the way, which within themselves is something to marvel to me, because you have the black sand beach, Playa Negra, and then you go down, the sand turns brown and then a lighter brown. So you get a different experience on the beaches in just less than a 10-mile span. I mean, probably less than 5 miles, honestly. So the beach vibe is great here. The food is amazing because the Caribbean touch to it. So there are a different mixture of the indigenous people, um, the Jamaicans that came into this area, the expat community. There's a big mix. And so you get to experience that in the foods. And even being plant based, I was able to find foods that were very filling to me, satisfying, and happy about it. And also going into the grocery store. Um, and shopping. Now, I would tell you that grocery prices, being from Georgia, grocery prices here were kind of comparable to what I was spending in Georgia, except the fruits and vegetables. The fruits and vegetables are inexpensive here for the fact that I am paying for organic foods without having to pay for organic like we do in the United States. So that within itself was amazing to me. So here are some things that people question about traveling solo, especially as a woman in a foreign country with a language I do not know. I do understand some Spanish, but I am not fluent by any chance in it. I am working on that. The good thing about this area is that most people speak English or enough to get you to get around, and you never feel threatened or in danger. So one thing, do I feel safe? Absolutely. I've walked places, done things in the dark, and not at any moment did I feel unsafe. Now, mind you, you may read stuff about things that happen, but it's my opinion that anywhere that there are human beings present, there are going to be human beings who don't do the right thing. So that's even in your neighborhood. So please don't let that deter you from traveling. However, I do advise you to do your research. Wherever you choose to go, I do recommend Costa Rica for solo traveling, but that should just be a start. You should explore the world if it's available to you. It is available to you. So wherever you say, hey, I want to travel to that place, do your research. There's plenty of videos on YouTube. I would just say seek out someone that has a positive outlook and is going to give you the honest opinion and not everything, because to be a traveler is different than vacationing. When I traveled to Costa Rica for 10 days, I did not consider that being on vacation. I consider that being available to immerse myself in this area in a manner that if I were to live here. So I looked at it differently and how I spent money, the places I went, and especially on the trip that I'm on now, my second one, even though it's a month, I'm really tapping into almost living like a local, living around the locals, connecting with the expat communities. So again, I travel for the whole experience. I travel for the healing that it provides me. And we definitely will go into that more. So yeah, that was my first trip. On my second trip now, I added a stop. So when I came in to the um, to the airport, I chose to go to a yoga sanctuary, which is in Sarapiquí province, up in, I don't know if that's called a province, Sarapiquí area, up in the mountains a little north of San Jose. So another thing about getting around here, when you hear that something is 100 miles away or 120 miles away, for instance, when someone told me to get from the yoga sanctuary to where I'm at now, Puerto Viejo, is 120 miles, my mind went to um an hour and a half, hour, 45 minutes, maybe 2 hours. That is not the case here. The infrastructure is not the same. While they do have highways, you can go from a big 4-lane highway down to 1 lane like within minutes, and traffic is backed up because they're building infrastructure here. So that has definitely had to be taken account, not only here in Costa Rica, but different countries that you um, visit, especially if you're not visiting Europe and those areas that are more like the United States, but you're visiting Latin America, South America, Africa, India, all these places. You have to know where you're going and how it is to get around. That is something definitely you need to research ahead of time so you are prepared. Because when you're in Costa Rica getting around, you have to be prepared to wait and just have patience to get from places. So when I came here the second time, I went up to the yoga tribe sanctuary, stayed a couple days there. It was absolutely beautiful. It's very subtle and soothing to my spirit. There was a biological preserve across the street that took you a path through the jungle. Very beautiful. Had an amazing experience there. And then I made my way down again, a 4-hour trip, which I thought 120 miles would take about 2 hours if you're driving slow in the United States, right? Um, but it took almost 4 hours to get here. So definitely had the patience. But along the way, it was absolutely beautiful. So transportation, there's multiple modes of transportation here to get around here in Costa Rica, and so I do advise doing your research. And if you have any questions, drop in the comments, and I will respond to those questions as well. Just didn't want to make this video extremely long, but did want to give you some pointers. So we talked about safety. Yes, as a solo traveler, solo woman traveler, not speaking the language, I feel perfectly safe here. Accessibility, I did rent a scooter, so I'm able to get around as much as I want. You can also rent a car. You can also rent a bicycle and ride around. You can also take the tuk-tuks, little taxis, and get around as well. And I also believe there's an Uber service here as well. So you have options of getting around. It's just different price points where you want to fall, whatever you feel. I don't think a car rental is necessary. Like I said earlier, I just prefer the scooter so I can go and come as I please. The place I'm staying, I I am staying for a month and I rented it through Airbnb. However, there are some WhatsApp groups and stuff that you can get into that provide housing information and stuff that you can see different prices, different locals offering housing. Like I said, there are hotels around here, but they're not your typical, they're resort like, but they're not your typical this 5-star. You are in nature and they embrace this. So that is definitely so. But when we talk about travel and solo overall safety, transportation, the cost, knowing the cost of getting around, the cost of eating, and the food that's available, and especially if you have any restrictions to your diet. I am plant based. I've had no problem here in Costa Rica getting good quality food. And when I say quality, quality, especially the fruits and vegetables, just amazing. And I'm sure the meats and the fish and stuff are as well, being as though we're on the ocean and people are fishing, and a lot of stuff is local. So there's a lot of the questions I get about just traveling solo in general. I love it. Did I always intend to travel solo? My initial time, I didn't. But what happened was I made a decision that I was going to come back to Costa Rica. I made a decision where I was going to come, and I really didn't want anybody influencing that decision. So here's a part of healing in this video, especially if you are healing from unhealthy relationships with yourself, your people around you, and that you tend to be a people pleaser. Being dealing with that myself, I know how important it was for me to people in my circle to get their okay or get their feedback on certain aspects of my life. So this was definitely a healing journey for me. A part of this healing journey was saying, this is what I want. I want to travel back to Costa Rica, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to set a date, and I'm going to work toward that. I'm not going to work around anybody else's calendar and schedule or whether they want to go or not. I'm going, and if I have to do it alone, I will. That was a decision I made for myself, and I stuck to it. And so I made a date. I told certain people, I'll be here. If you would like to come, you're welcome to come. I ended up traveling solo, which was a great thing for me because in this solo trip, both of them, both times, and what is revealing to me now is that I've learned so much about myself and I have the freedom to just be. I don't have to worry about how anybody else is feeling, whether they want to go to the beach or whether they want to go to somewhere to eat or what they want to do. And while I embrace that and I do love community and I do love traveling with my friends and my family, there is a place that just enjoys being with me. Again, another healing thing because that was not always the case. I didn't always enjoy me. So on when you're healing from unhealthy relationships, one of the important things is getting back to yourself and enjoying your own company. And maybe I'm taking it a little extreme by doing that, traveling solo internationally, but that's works for me, and it's given me so much lightness of my heart and my spirit that I'm fully embracing it. I'm also fully embracing the community around here. I find people who are like minded. And even though you can have close friends or close family, doesn't always mean that they're like minded, especially if you are growing and you're expanding. I believe people are sent to help you on that mission. And sometimes there are people who are already there with you, and sometimes there's new people. So embracing the community around here, speaking to people I never spoke to before, it's just been very, very welcoming here. And I encourage people who are traveling solo for the purpose of really engaging in that place they're going to join groups, join WhatsApp groups, Facebook groups, and those kind of things. Do your research, connect with people there before you even get there so you have that community and they'll introduce you to other people. And right now, in a few minutes, I'll be leaving and having afternoon lunch with someone that I met here. Um, and every day or every other day, as much as I want to interact with people, I have the opportunity to do that. As much as I don't want to, I can do that as well. Enjoying this time. I am I am so pro solo travel. Now, if you have a friend that you like to travel with, y'all to jail like that, and y'all have that, by all means do this. But this is a solo travel video, so that's what I'm talking about, traveling solo. Costa Rica is a beautiful country. It's very set up for solo travelers. I've met quite a few in transit that are traveling by themselves here, and they are open and welcoming and talking and engaging. You meet them one day, next day you're going to lunch with them. That's how easy it is. It's something very feminine and nurturing about this place. All places are not like that. All places won't have this type of flow. So again, knowing when you want to do a solo trip, where are you going, why are you going there, what are you trying to get from that place? If you're just trying to get some cute Instagram photos, do you? But if you're really trying to go there to learn more about yourself, to learn more about others, to help in your healing process, to expand more as an individual and have more to offer others as a result, then find those places that nurture that and do your research and go after it. I'm enjoying my first week back in Costa Rica, my first official week. I've done some jungle rides. I ride up into the jungle on my scooter. That was kind of by accident, but anyway, I've had amazing food. I've had amazing yoga classes. I have scheduled for a massage and some body work. I've danced on the beach at lunchtime, gone to the beach at lunchtime. A sister was there, tambourine, maracas. We danced and I had a great freeing time. I communed with her. We had conversation that was beautiful. And another thing that came up while I'm talking about that is I said lunchtime. So I am working from Costa Rica and the infrastructure for Wi-Fi is great. I have had no problems with working. Every now and then I may have an intermittent internet interruption. I think it's only happened twice in the 8 days, 9 days, or whatever I've been here. So I'm able to work efficiently. And then there are also co-working places that you can go that even when the power goes out, they have generators that you can keep on working. So there's co-working spaces. Um, every place you go to eat, there's Wi-Fi available there as well. So I hadn't even had to turn on my cellular data. I've been using Wi-Fi, which is saving money. I've also got a backup Wi-Fi just in case I want to go to the beach and do work, just sitting at the beach, not in a restaurant or anything, just sitting at the beach and doing that. I have that available as well. So I have a good setup here for work. Um, so yeah, I'm able to work efficiently here. I feel safe. I get around. I eat good food and I engage with good people. So if you're thinking about traveling solo, I say do it. Do your research, of course, but anything that you feel any fear coming up as a result of you saying, "Oh, I want to go by myself," and then immediately fear comes up, that's normal. Embrace that fear, figure out where that fear is coming from and address it. Don't ignore it and don't say, "Oh, I'm too scared. I'm not doing it." Because if you have a desire to do it, that means you can do it and it's there for you to do. So I welcome you and I invite you to explore traveling and internationally and doing it by yourself if you have to. Again, do your research, but go after those dreams. Don't let fear stop you. Don't let, because fear is usually a result of misinformation or no information. So get your information, sit with that fear and find out what it is that you're afraid of, address it and move for it and do that travel. Okay? That's the video for this time. I will be checking in weekly to let you know how things go from week to week. I appreciate you for tuning in and making it this far. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you the next time. Peace and much love.